Mark was struggling in a small Texas college town, feeling uncertain about his future. The weight of his decisions seemed heavy as he walked down a dusty street under the hot sun. Every step felt like he was walking towards something unknown, something life-changing, but at that moment, he didn't know what that would be. Then out of nowhere, his phone rang. It was Eleanor, a woman he'd never met, yet her voice carried with it a calm authority. She offered him a business proposal that was too strange, too tempting to ignore. It was as if she knew exactly what Mark was missing in his life. But what did she want from him? They met at Brooks Bistro, a cozy yet modern spot tucked away on a quiet corner of town. Eleanor, poised and composed, explained the details of her offer. It sounded insane, yet there was something about her, something mysterious and compelling. As they talked, Mark felt drawn in, even though he wasn't sure if he could trust her. At dinner with his family that evening, Mark tried to process the proposal. It felt wrong, yet right. His family was adamant. This wasn't the path for him. The risks, the unknowns, were too great. But Mark, desperate for change, couldn't shake the feeling that this was his only chance. After much internal conflict, he decided to take the leap, agreeing to marry Eleanor, a decision that would alter the course of his life forever. The ceremony was cold, formal. Nothing like the warm, joyous occasion Mark had imagined. There were no smiles, no excitement. It was business, plain and simple. And when they arrived at Eleanor's mansion, deep in the woods, an unsettling chill filled the air. This place felt more like a prison than a home. The mansion was vast, dark, and eerie. As they sat down for dinner, a silence hung over them, heavy and uncomfortable. Mark couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The house seemed to have secrets of its own, secrets that would soon surface. It wasn't long before Mark began noticing strange things. Eleanor was hiding something. He could feel it. One night after a restless evening, he stumbled upon a set of hidden documents. As he went through them, his heart raced. There were too many discrepancies, too many things she hadn't shared. Eleanor's past was far more complicated than she'd let on. One night while exploring the mansion, Mark uncovered a hidden room. It was like something out of a horror movie, cold, dark, and unsettling. As he stepped inside, he discovered even more secrets. Eleanor had been manipulating him from the start. Her control was deeper than he realized. When Mark confronted her, Eleanor was defensive. Her calm exterior cracked, revealing the guilt and fear that lurked underneath. She tried to justify her actions, but Mark wasn't buying it anymore. He had the proof, and this time, he wasn't going to back down. The confrontation was intense. Mark stood firm, demanding answers. Eleanor tried to explain, but it was too late. The truth was out, and it wasn't going to be swept under the rug. Mark's determination grew stronger as the weight of the situation became clearer. As the police arrived and took Eleanor away in handcuffs, Mark stood there, watching it all unfold. Part of him felt relieved, but another part of him felt sadness. He'd been changed by this experience, and he wasn't sure if he would ever be the same. Months later, Mark stood at a podium, receiving applause for his resilience. He had transformed into someone entirely different, a man who had faced his fears, taken control of his life, and emerged victorious. He thought about Eleanor's final letter, the one that had arrived after her arrest. As he read it, he couldn't help but feel both sorrow and gratitude. Mark stood outside a sleek office building, ready to begin his new life. His journey had been long and painful, but now with a fresh chapter ahead of him, he felt confident. The future was his, and he was ready to take it on, no matter what came next. In the end, Mark realized that sometimes the most unexpected turns in life lead us to discover who we truly are. What began as a strange business deal turned into a journey of courage, heartbreak, and truth. Eleanor changed his life, not just with her secrets, but by forcing him to confront his fears and take control of his destiny. Painful as it was, Mark emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. The past may have scarred him, but it also shaped him. And as he stepped into his new life, he understood something deeply. Growth doesn't come from comfort, it comes from facing the storm and choosing to walk through it anyway. Because sometimes the story you never expected becomes the one that defines you.